Hello and welcome to The Wrong Podcast, the show where we watch and discuss all of Lifetime's The Wrong movies. I'm Claudia,
Jory.
and today we are talking about The Wrong Housesitter, 2020, directed by Dave Dakota as always, and written by Adam Rockoff. Jory, what did you think of The Wrong Housesitter?
Uh, you know, One thing that I kept writing down, more so because of the basis of when this movie came out. It came out pre-pandemic, January 24th, 2020, but the fact that some of what they're dealing with kind of relates to things that happened due to people not being able to pay rent felt crazy. Like,
Mmm,
I don't know if that was on your mind at all, but it was very distracting in my head how much they were just like fear mongering about people sitting in your property and you can't do anything about it.
yeah, that is a really interesting point.
Alongside that, it was all right up until the point where the evil plan had been revealed and they all knew the truth about the house sitter, and then it just kind of felt boring and treading water until the movie ended.
Then it just becomes every other wrong movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that now we're at the point where we're like we're kind of craving novelty, but not in a way where I feel like I'm getting bored of the movies. But
Yeah.
it's like it really does feel like, okay, we have one movie and then we reach the third act and we go into the wrong roommate.
Pretty much. Because it's like, especially with how with like Adam Rockoff, it has been less like absurd with the plots.
Mm,
Like even with this one, with her like obsession was very like almost felt thrown in there. Like there's no way these
yeah.
movies do reshoots, but it feels like something you add in to after audience testing to see, oh, they want to know why she's doing this, just like beyond just she wants a place to stay.
No, you're 100% right. I definitely agree with that. I felt like the obsession didn't really make sense.
No, I thought it was gonna pay off at some point, but no, it didn't come up at all.
Yeah.
They had the usual obsession introduction, and then it just kind of like petered out.
Yeah. I got to say though, I like this one overall. I uh I thought this one was, I don't know, kind of offbeat in terms of a lot of these movies. It was also like the parts that were bad in an entertaining way to me. Um and I like that this is a movie that we spend like the first half of it with the wrong.
Yeah,
Like
it was nice that she was like a more of a featured character than previous movies.
she is arguably the protagonist,
Yeah.
which is strange. Jory, what predictions did you have for the wrong house sitter?
So I thought that the wrong would be one of two things. I thought they'd kind of converge into the same kind of like conflict, but I thought that the wrong house sitter would be somewhat house sitting for the neighbor. Like the
Mm-hmm.
main characters would have their own place, and then it's someone who is a stranger next door that either is revealed that they're not a house sitter, like similar to what was it, the wrong boy next door, where he's like, I'm doing renovations when
Yeah.
they were up to no good there. Or I thought that the main character, similar to the wrong cheerleader, was going to be the house sitter, and they would be in the wrong situation, and that there would be some kind of like kidnapping plot, or in my head, I was thinking about the movie The Clove Hitch Killer. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie.
I'm not.
It's about a like Boy Scout like teenager who like does a lot of like scout stuff with his dad, and dad teaches him a lot of practical advice and things. And I think it's more of a framing because the killer that was known in the town like a couple decades ago was known for doing like specific knots and stuff when he would tie up his victims. And in the movie, the kid finds out that like finds the photo evidence that it's his dad, and it's him trying to figure out like, oh, what the fuck do I do? And these really like tense situations of him like trying to the the only frame of reference I have for it is the scene in the first MCU Spider-Man one. He's sitting in the car with Michael Keaton, and they both kind of know. It has that kind of vibe of like, is the dad catching on? Is that kind of thing? And very uncomfortable movie. It's really good if you're into like thriller horror stuff. And I thought it'd be that, and I thought that they'd be like teenager, early college. Because like being younger, like you're in an unfamiliar space, or someone is a little more stranger danger there. I feel like as an adult, I'm less off put by interacting with strangers, even though I don't like interacting with people a lot of the time. It's a little bit easier for me as an adult now than it was at like 17, 18. And then my other one was, I thought Vivica was going to be like the friendly neighbor. I thought she was going to be the role of Tracy Vale, who says her name like a Pokemon in this movie.
Yeah, no, you're right.
What did you have for your predictions?
Jory, let me tell you, I nailed the topic of this movie. I nailed a few things here. So I sat there before I started the movie on YouTube.com, and I said to myself, the wrong house sitter. How is somebody the wrong house sitter? And it hit me like a bolt. You, middle-aged white suburban mom, your house is... Somebody is trying to steal your house. And you know why they can? Because of those liberal squatters' rights laws.
Yeah.
And I predicted that someone will consult a lawyer at some point so that they can say, like, well, there's nothing we can do. And I said that there would specifically be a line that said squatters' rights. The rest I was pretty incorrect on. I said that Jason Shane Scott would be the wrong, and that he would be out for money. I took a swing and said a teenager will be in danger, and I said the main character is going to be an ambiguous businesswoman in sales. Which, no, not correct for all three of those, but I think the three that I did nail make up for it.
Yeah, that's a really good call. I when they started to get into that, I was like, I don't know what I expected. It's the dead dove don't eat kind of thing. This I was like, I should have known it was some kind of like suburban fear thing.
Yeah, I've started leaning into the not in my backyard kind of thing.
That's honestly a great call.
Yeah, I think it's put me right in the Lifetime headset. Jory, would you like to begin to talk about this movie?
Yeah, the opening of the movie is, from what I can assume, is the a police officer and the guy who lives at this house arriving to where our antagonist was, and the cops gives him like a rundown of like, hey, don't do something stupid, just follow me. And then they're just like coming in for a letter of eviction. And I don't think they use any sort of like pronouns to address like who is there. But I did write down, because I thought it was the tell. There's a message written on a mirror that says like, I'll be back or something. And it's written in lipstick. I assume it doesn't look as messy as like when you see like a lipstick thing on the walls or something in movies, but I think that's supposed to be the tell that the wrong is a woman in this movie, because a man's not going to touch lipstick.
It does look like they used actual lipstick and not like movie lipstick.
Yeah.
Looks like they went to Walgreens and were like, "Hey, let me pick up a stick of Maybelline."
And then we get the title card, and another thing that I noticed was that they're using new fonts. The opening credits have a different font,
Oh,
and the title card doesn't have the default Adobe Premiere font.
they're not using Helvetica anymore.
No.
Damn, upgrading. Is the editor on this one different? I gotta look this up. There are 18 producers on this movie. Editors Brian Brinkman and Joshua Toomey were on the last movie. Wrong House.
It's looking like this is a new editor, according to the Wikipedia page.
There
Kevin
we go.
Rhodes.
You know, you gotta hand it to Kevin Rhodes.
He's going above and beyond. He took the extra 5 minutes to change some fonts.
Did more than the bare minimum.
Yeah. In the after title card, we get introduced to Jason Shane Scott, who I can't remember his character name. I should have written it down.
His name is Dan.
His name's Dan. Oh yeah, I did write it down later. Dan Settle. Settle?
Yeah.
Because I remember. Yeah, they show his Wikipedia page later. And he's on the phone talking to Vivica, who is his editor, I believe.
Yes.
At least that's what she says later, but in here we can kind of they have some kind of working relationship. He's a freelance author who can somehow afford a massive fucking LA like McMansion looking thing.
Well, Jory, did you catch the reason why he can? Because he is just now moving in.
Yeah, he says later when I think it's when he's showing the wrong around the house is he says he sold the film rights to one of his stories. And
yeah, sold film rights to the news.
So the film rights of a story being able to buy a house like this was probably true 60 years ago. Today,
yeah.
I would be surprised if you get above like $50,000.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Jory, here's a weird comparison. Netflix's The Mole game show, which is a reboot of an ABC reality show from like 2000. The grand prize for the first season of the original Mole was like, I think $600,000.
Okay.
And the grand prize for Netflix The Mole was like 70,000. Every Netflix game show, it's like, when I get that Starbucks gift card, I'm gonna do so much with it. Anyway.
That's honestly what like at my job they do a lot of like sales contests and stuff, and the rewards are never like money. It's always like a branded jacket of the company you represent or something. And
Pog.
I'm already not a competitive person, but that's definitely not going to get me to get a jacket of brand. Or one that came up in a meeting was I guess I think this guy was full of shit, but he said a popular thing that for a competition was an air freshener that was the program's manager's face, and said people fought hard for that, and there's no fucking way. Maybe the people, the weirdos who like retail work, like hell yeah. But if you told me that, I'd be trying hard to be in last place.
I don't know, the ironic joy that I might be able to get out of that. I wouldn't like work hard for it, but if I won it, I would be like, sweet.
Getting some details from Vivica about he's got a job in New York that she's flying him out to, and they're pulling out all the stops. They got like a special car that's going to be waiting for him. They make some joke about if you're gonna sell away like the bias or whatever, or impartiality or something, got to make it worth it. And
Hmm.
also to note, Vivica is holding an iPad that we see like 6 different times in this movie that I guarantee is the same iPad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
Six
kept,
times across different characters.
yeah, it's every time I saw it, I was like, there's that iPad again.
No, you're probably right.
Then his girlfriend arrives because she's going to be the one house sitting. It's like, oh no, is she going to be stuck in the situation? No, she's got a train. Whatever her job is, she mentions oil later in the movie. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
really don't know what her job is. But she
It's
got
very confusing.
the person who's going to do some training seminar camp for a weekend is going into labor, so they called her to do it, so she can't watch. Also, she has a very nice car, much
She
nicer than
does.
much nicer than Jason Shane Scott, which he spent all of his money on the house. He doesn't need a nice car. He's got the cool house.
Yeah, no. She's got the nice BMW though, so if things work out between them, they can put those assets together.
I
Beautiful.
do like that. Even though when they were expressing it, I was going, ew, gross. But it is kind of nice that he's like, oh, you can't go just yet. We have to christen the bedroom and the living room and the kitchen and maybe the shower.
It is nice to hear people just be overtly sexual in a movie. Everyone is sexy, nobody's horny or whatever.
Yeah, it's something that like it's a weird thing to point to, but that is vaguely kind of like nice and sweet about King of the Hill is that they don't shy away from showing that like Hank and Peggy do have sex, like
Hmm.
because when you think of like sitcoms, especially like old sitcoms, like they had the beds apart way back in the day, and then when you think of like this the usual sitcom stuff, it's usually like played as a joke that the husband wants to, and the wife is like, I'm tired, I got a headache. But you have this with like these two people who are very like conservative and uncomfortable about being open, and then they are, and adds some dynamic to it.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
And we go from the house to the City Lights bookstore, which has appeared in a past couple of movies. And
Yes.
here we get the biggest fucking red flag that has ever happened in any of these movies.
Thank you for saying it, Jory.
Both of them love Ayn Rand and talk about Ayn Rand.
I'm like astonished by this where so our wrong, or who turns out to be our wrong, Kristen, is checking out fucking Atlas Shrugged, I think. I forget which
Yes.
one comes up first, but then Jason Shane Scott is like, oh, the Fountainhead is her real masterpiece. What in the goddamn was happening there?
So,
I,
the actress who is playing her, I recognized her because she is in another Lifetime movie I've watched called Deadly Mile High Club, which is
okay.
about a. It has kind of, I mean, because it's a Lifetime movie, I'm sure, but thinking about it, it has a similar kind of thing where the antagonist of it is a flight instructor who is obsessed with the main character because for whatever reason she finds the most bland white guy ever just super enticing.
Of
And
course.
Kristen here plays the girlfriend, and I the thing that stood out to me is like I feel like there's probably a better way to say this without sounding rude, but she looked like older in this movie, even though they came out around the same time. She looked more her
Mm.
age, is a better way to put it. Because in that movie, I'm gonna post it in the Stupido B chat. In Deadly Mile High Club, she's dressed like a Disney Channel original live action character.
Oh my god.
She wears that fucking pink fedora like the whole movie. It's
It's
crazy.
it's giving Ryan from High School Musical if Ren from Even Stevens was wearing his outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
But she was way better in that movie. She got the unfortunate role in these Lifetime movies that thinking about it's like, man, the like partners of our leads are always just kind of bland. But I'm glad she got a chance
Yeah.
to kind of like shine in this movie because she was really good at being a very evil person.
I agree. She's honestly like one of my favorite wrongs because she's like, I don't know, confident and smug the whole time.
Yeah, it just and it's in a way too that's like it's hard for her to get a comeuppance for what she is doing. So that confidence is pretty earned. Like
Yeah.
she tricked this idiot. Like the other thing with this, it's all his fault. Like he should have known
Yeah.
better. Like,
Fucking got him.
there's nothing in this that's like, oh man, I feel bad for him. It's like, no, you should have read the contract. Even if you're in a hurry, you go, hold on.
Okay, so let's go further so we can get into that.
Yeah.
I love the plot of this movie.
Yeah, they're talking about Ayn Rand and how much they love Ayn Rand, and then it kind of goes into because she said she kind of recognizes him as a writer, I believe, and she mentions that she's like amateur writer, but she's doing the LA thing of having a bunch of gig jobs instead of while she's trying to make the writer thing work. And house sitter is one of them that comes up, and him with zero survival instincts isn't the right word, but zero just like street smarts is like, oh, I need a house sitter. I'm gonna ask this person I just met who also likes Ayn Rand to watch my house.
Jesus. It's I don't I don't know what the hell he was thinking here. Like,
There's got to be they mentioned Uber, so there's got to be. I'm sure there's like house sitter gig apps. I walked dogs
probably.
through a couple different dog walking apps. There's got to be one for finding a house sitter.
Yeah, we had one for somebody to come and check on our cat when he was still around. And, they would just come by once a day. It was like, I don't know, $20 a day or something.
Yeah, I would do that with doggies and stuff, and it was always nice.
Yeah.
There's got to be one for the house. So he's just seemingly brings her back to his house immediately because they're wearing the same clothes. It's still the daytime.
Yep. And he says that he wants to have a house sitter because thieves target like homes that are newly moved into because like neighbors don't know the people in there yet. People are always coming and going. And it's like, the hand wave explanation is fine, I guess. But I'm like, did you need one? Like, I mean, both did you need one for did you really need a house sitter? And also, did you really need a hand wave explanation?
Yeah, the hand wave explanation of it, I wrote it down because it seems like a bad idea to question the premise of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to sow those seeds in the audience's mind. And especially with this, I would not, especially if someone just moved in, I would not be questioning it at all. Even if it's a nice area, I can understand, like, someone just feeling more comfortable with it. And if he has the money for the house, he's going to New York for a job, doesn't have anyone who can watch it for him, that seems perfectly reasonable that he would. But yeah, they have him just kind of like kill the premise, and right after he's like showing her around the house is when she's she like it's kind of like spying on him through the window, and then cuts to her in one of the rooms in this house, but framed to be like it's a different location. He's looking at his Wikipedia page on the same iPad, and that Vivica had, and then there's a bunch of his professional headshots and Instagram pictures on the wall behind her.
And of course, she's wearing the Lifetime Evil hoodie.
Yeah.
It's funny because on the bingo card that I've mentioned on this show, one of the squares is wrong is revealed in the first 10 minutes. And I thought we weren't going to get it in this one. This happens at like 9 minutes 25 seconds. And it's like, fuck.
And then the next day, that he's like, I like this one because he's like cuddling on the couch with his girlfriend, and there's being all cute and talking about what's going on, and she is watching. The Wrong is watching through the window and reacting like she can hear them.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing that they do in these movies is people watch through the window, and are like, they just have that look like they know what's being said, and she is upset.
Yeah, just a weird choice for David here. So he also, Dan mentions to Mary, his girlfriend, that he like checked Kristen's references, which I don't know, I'm surprised that she has references for many reasons.
See, I thought this
And
was going to be a payoff like in it was the Wrong Mommy? Yeah, where the person who was in like rehab with her was just like being like threatened to be her cover. Like I thought it'd be something like that. Now it's just kind of like hand waved, which I don't know. I'm just have it set up that he hired her through an app. There's references there. She could,
and that's
she could
even
have
more
stolen someone's
fear-mongering
account.
you can get in.
Yeah. You can't trust that technology.
I have to assume that the reference that he called was just somebody, was just like her. Like she just put on a little bit of a voice or an accent or something. She was like, oh, Dan, yes, I definitely had her house sit for me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go back to my first grade teaching job. So Kristen then breaks in and takes that same iPad and hooks it up to Dan's iPhone and does a quote-unquote data transfer. This won't come back for like an hour.
No.
And then Dan like sees her in the kitchen and he's like, oh, geez, I didn't know you were here. And she's like, yeah, the back door was open, so I let myself in. Which, you know, lock your doors, man. If this doesn't sound weird to you, you should be locking your fucking doors. He's like, okay, my Uber is outside waiting and it's like blaring on the horn. And she's like, oh, wait. Before you go, I just need you to sign this contract. And the contract, did you take a close look at it? It's not like we can see the text, but like
I did not. It was so small I didn't think to like take a look at it.
It is like, so there are multiple paragraphs, but the first paragraph is fucking huge. The first paragraph, it's like 10-point font, and it's all one single spaced page. It takes up like 2/3 of it. And she's like, oh, it's all just like boilerplate stuff, just making sure that I get paid and that like you're protected or something like that. And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, just sign it. Come on, just sign it. And the Uber driver is honking and he's like, okay, yeah, sure. No, yeah, I'll sign. And fucking got him. Got his ass. She's an expert. And like, honestly, she's kind of girl bossing.
Yeah.
As we find out later. So here's the thing. I'm like, I'm 100% on her side.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him, really, because he should have known better. This is so obvious. It's something you don't fall for.
So what we later find out is that this contract is not about her getting paid. This contract leases the sublets the house to her for a year. And he like has to provide her reasonable amenities and reasonable access to them. And it's like fucking ironclad. And I am so like fascinated and elated with the fact that this scheme has apparently worked multiple times. Like I think at least 3 times this has worked. Uh just amazing. And I have to assume that she put in there that her rent is $0 a month.
Yeah, I can't feel bad from it all. Like, yeah, she's like figured out a great way to just find a free place to live, and if she keeps finding these guys who are dumb enough to fall for it, like it seemed like by the end of the movie, the idea of that they would have something to be able to evict her with would be like if she got violent.
Yeah.
So as long as she just like she can just be like bitchy and haha, I tricked you to him, but you can't do anything. Like, good on her.
Yeah, honestly. Like, I don't know, Dan, buddy, maybe you should have read Ayn Rand a little closer, because this is kind of textbook objectivism. Like,
Yeah.
she is living, she's living to with the pursuit of her own happiness to your detriment. The neighbor comes by. This neighbor woman, what was her name? Tracy Vale?
Yeah, who she constantly is introducing herself. It seems like
Yeah.
she's excited about Dan moving in because he's famous, and there hasn't been like a famous person in the neighborhood, or she hasn't lived next to a famous person, which if you're living in a nice area in LA like this, I have doubts about that. Uh,
He literally lives in Beverly Hills. They show a sign at one point.
Even better. Which also, I feel like an author's kind of down the list of.
Mhm.
It's on Comedy Bang Bang, the like hierarchy that Scott Aukerman brings up of like who you want as your guest. At the top is movie stars, then TV stars, then authors, then comedians, and at the bottom is podcasters. Those are the last people you want to guest on your show. But movie stars, that'll get people talking.
See, that's why when we go and we interview Jessica Morris or Jason Shane Scott, podcast's
Yeah,
gonna go crazy because we're gonna have a movie star on it.
exactly. And did you recognize her at all? Tracy Vale.
She looked familiar. I was like, she is probably in another one of these movies somewhere.
So she has been in The Wrong Roommate, The Wrong
Oh,
Friend, The Wrong Teacher. She's in the upcoming The Wrong Fiance, upcoming for us, not one that's coming out.
holy.
She's been in a lot of
Oh,
Lifetime stuff, but also she has been in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, billed as Bar Girl. She was in Addams Family Reunion. She was
okay.
in a movie that I have had in my Letterboxd watch list for a long time from 1988, Lucky Stiff, which is Ron Douglas has no luck in women. After his bride runs away on their wedding day, he goes on holiday up in the mountains and finds himself wrapped up in a bizarre series of events after attending a dinner party turned deadly, which I believe the movie has some kind of like cannibalism plot to it. It's also directed
Hmm.
by Anthony Perkins, the only other thing he directed besides Psycho 3. Uh,
Nice.
she's in Theodore Rex, which is a movie
Oh,
about
yeah.
the racism allegory starring Whoopi Goldberg as the dinosaur racist and an animatronic dinosaur. And then my favorite of all her credits, which is Diva Talks from Power Rangers Turbo. She's the villain in Power
Wow.
Rangers Turbo and then sub-villain in Power Rangers in Space, the sequel series to Turbo.
That's so funny.
Like, she's been all over. She's been on TV. She's been in movies. I guess she did music in like a girl group when she was
What's her
younger.
name?
Hillary Shepard.
Hillary Shepard. Man.
She was in
Tell me more
music
about the
videos.
Reapers.
Like, it's a She just all over her career. It's very fun. And I when she kept like introducing herself, I was like, one, she looks familiar. Two, is this like a cameo thing going on? Like, is this one of David Dakota's like common players from his exploitation Full Moon movies that he is bringing over into this for some like fun? And it didn't seem like that. Like, I honestly thought she was using her like real name, and this was supposed to be like a B movie actress that people in the know would know.
Yeah.
But no, it's just someone who does like Lifetime movies and stuff sometimes and some TV work. But just the way they kept bringing her in just felt like her constantly introducing herself felt like there's something else there that I felt like I should have known.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's like a buddy of David.
He's probably a good guy to his friends. He gives
He
Eric Roberts
seems like he's
constantly
cool.
a job. So
Yeah. So she comes over and she's like, "Wow, a famous writer." And Kristen is like, "Yeah, he's my boyfriend, but he'll be back sometime. He's not here right now. He's off at New York." And speaking of, Dan calls, and Dan's in New York
he
already.
is.
The fastest plane imaginable.
He's in the Big
He
Apple.
got through. He got through security real quick. It's not just me that this seemed like the same day, right? Like, not even the
Yeah.
same day, like the same hour.
I think it's the same day. I'm pretty sure she's wearing the same outfit, and it doesn't even seem like it's the afternoon. Like, it's not even golden hour yet. I guess something with those time zone differences. It's just he's 3 hours ahead.
Yeah, because it felt like the second he left, the neighbor showed up, Tracy Vale, and
Yeah.
then the second that she leaves, she gets a call. Kristen gets a call from Dan saying,
Yep.
"Hey, I'm in New York now." And then there's a scene that night where she goes and sleeps in what we have to assume is his bed because there's diabolical music playing. And
Yeah.
like, here's the thing. I think that this is like
That's not
I
that
know
weird.
that, yeah, I know that it's supposed to be big creepy moment, but like, I don't know. Like, how is she supposed to know that's his room necessarily? I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt here, even though she doesn't deserve it and is being a creep. But it's like, I don't know. When I house sat for my co-host Nicole, I slept in her bed.
Yeah, I don't think sleeping in someone's bed when you're housing for them is that weird. Especially like, I don't know, when I've done stuff like that or like stayed at someone's house for to like watch their pets, or whatever. It's been like, yeah, I'd wash the sheets and everything. You can just sleep in my bed. Like,
Yeah, if she like grabbed all of his underwear and tossed in bed with her, that would be a different story. But like, I don't know, these blank white sheets and stuff. How are you supposed to know?
I gotta mention the how nuts his bedroom is, just a little bit. He's got the fireplace, and then he's got a love seat at the foot of the bed with the TV in front of it.
Yep, it really looks like a hotel room.
It does feel like a hotel room, yeah. It seems like a spot, honestly, that he could sublet this room out as like a as just like its own inclusive unit.
Yeah, yeah. So the next day or sometime later, this guy comes over at her request to install cameras.
Yes, and he's got the iPad, and this guy's awesome.
He honestly, this was another scene that just put me more on her side because like he comes over and first of all he talks about like, "Oh yeah, these cameras are so small these days," holding the largest camera I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah,
it's bigger than my webcam.
yeah.
Like, and I bought my webcam, I don't know, 6 years ago.
I've had my webcam for like a decade, and it is bigger than my webcam.
Yeah. And so she mentioned something about like, "Ah yes, me and my husband live here." And she introduces herself as Kristen Settle, which is not her last name, that's Dan's last name. And she mentions having a baby here. And the guy goes and installs the cameras and then comes back for payment. And he's like, by the way, I didn't see a crib in any of the rooms. And it's like, is that any of your fucking business?
Yeah.
Like, what camera installation man would literally give a shit? What camera installation man would remember that she said that even?
Yeah. And at the very least, like, immediately I was like, she probably fucking put it in a closet. Who cares? Like, she probably moved it out of the way. The baby's not there. She probably had, the house was big enough, probably stashed it away somewhere else.
Yeah. And then she hands him a credit card to pay for it. And he's like, oh, your card has a different last name on it. And it's like, bitch, shut up. Like, that's even more reasonable. And she's like, haven't you ever heard of a woman using her maiden name? Like, if somebody gave me shit about me handing a credit card that did not say my legal name on it, because my actual credit card, not my debit card, but my credit card still has my dead name on it because I've been too fucking lazy to change it. And it's like, I don't mind your own fucking business. Who's looking at the card anyway? Just swipe the card, get paid, dude.
Yeah, it's like, why would he care? And also, he could have kept his name or just not changed anything. And all of that stuff compounded with the way this guy delivers his lines is so menacing. Like, why?
They're also like shooting him from below.
Why does he talk like he's in on it? Like, the tone from his delivery feels like these are two people together on the same mission, winking at each other in case anyone is listening.
Yeah. Huge agree on that. Very bizarre behavior. That kind of goes up there with the other no-name characters that have gotten like a weird amount of screen time in this franchise. Like the guy at the bar who's like a line cook in The Wrong Teacher, and the like ice cream lady or like food truck lady from The Wrong Stepmother. Every once in a while, they just give a random person, like, too many lines and too much focus for who they are in the story.
I wonder if this is them doing a solid, like, hey, we'll help you get your SAG card.
Yeah, true. Actually. Maybe based, I guess. I mean, I would put that in my sizzle reel.
Absolutely. One of my... the guy was like, good on him for... tricking the Hollywood production into doing this, but on the second Mortal Kombat movie, the guy playing Scorpion was like a stunt guy who originally didn't have any lines, and he lobbied with the production and like the director stuff. He's like, no, you gotta give me lines. It's just gonna be weird if I just pop up and take the guy and don't say anything. It's like, fine, we'll give you the lines. And then they shot the scene. And then the next day he's like, okay, now that I have lines and I'm union, now you have to do this for me, this. And then they just kind of wrote the part out. But it's like, no,
they wrote the part out?
They kind of like, they like cut out all the stuff involving the Scorpion character besides him kidnapping someone because they already shot it. But it's like, hey, he fucking got you guys. Come on.
Yeah, same with Kristen in the fucking contract. I don't feel bad for you. You shouldn't have been. You should know that.
We get her sitting on the couch looking at photos of Dan on Instagram, and then takes a picture of Dan and his girlfriend too. It's so quick in this scene that I didn't notice it, but later when we see the same image, they're so clearly photoshopped together.
Yeah, those two are not in the same room. It's like slightly different lighting. The angles are weird, and she has like a distinct line around her hair.
Yeah. And she cuts his girlfriend out of the photo and then puts herself in there in a picture that looks even more out of place.
See, I was thinking like, wow, she did it so realistically. It looks just like the last photo.
Then she like starts to decorate around the house and is cleaning up and they're spending so much time on her doing stuff around the house.
Yeah.
The other thing that was like felt even more weird than the menacing music of her getting in the bed is the menacing music of her getting into the bathtub.
Yeah, fully clothed, fully empty bath. It
Yeah,
feels like David or Adam Rockoff or somebody was like, we want her to like get in the bath naked, take an actual bath. And
yeah,
either Lifetime or the actress, what's her name? Anna Marie Dobbins was like, no, you're not gonna do
yeah.
that,
So
actually.
I rewrote this scene, and there's no way for me to sound it like say it without coming across like a pervert, but I don't care. So right before she goes into the bathtub, she's like going through a closet of his clothes and stuff, and she like grabs like a sleeve and smells it. And what I was thinking of in the not Lifetime version of this movie, but the VHS store cheapo, you want to get some nudity or whatever in the movie as possible. I was thinking you have her like she finds like lingerie of his girlfriends that are there, and she puts it on and is like doing stuff around the house
Ooh.
in that, because you get the like creepy like, oh god, she's like taking their clothes and stuff, and you get the TNA that you want to make the 17-year-old boy who rented it from mom and pop video store to go, oh yeah, this movie's awesome, it's the coolest movie I've ever seen.
The 17-year-old boy or the 33-year-old woman who's hosting this podcast.
Yeah.
But no, you nailed it. That would have been way better.
It's
Could have been.
especially like when they sort of went there with the wrong tutor of her like taking her shirt off and climbing into bed
Yeah.
with him, like they got right to that edge. I think that's probably the most we'll see of something like that. It's right open there for, honestly they should just maybe not with the same cast, but it's like they should just shoot like two versions of the movie, one for Lifetime and then one for like exploitation direct to Tubi.
There you go. Now you're cooking. We gotta call up David Dakota.
Yeah. Here's how you can save even more money: make two movies with one. It's the the Roger Corman thing, where I know there's multiple Roger Corman movies which are just unused footage from other movies all slapped together to make a movie.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, you wanna, yeah, when he was in New York, he also got a call from Vivica saying, "Hey, I'm gonna drop off some files from this account or whatever," and it's like the call is breaking up, even though that's not really something that happens when you're just standing around anymore in
Yeah.
2020. Uh, but she's like, yeah, I'm gonna drop by, and then she stops by and has a conversation with Kristen, who Vivica assumes that it's Mary.
Yeah. She says, "You're Mary, right? You're different than Dan described you."
Yeah, and
Parentheses. I thought that you were black.
yeah, and I was hoping, I did not think the movies would go there, and it didn't. I was hoping she would make a joke at him at some point of, you lied about your girlfriend being black to impress me, didn't you, white man? Like, I was hoping she would do something like that, but no, they understandably didn't, because I'm sure that'd make the Lifetime mom watching feel weird about her internalized prejudices.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I can see Vivica like making a joke like that too. Like it, it fits the kind of vibe that she has in these movies.
Yeah, there is a line later where she actually meets Mary and she's like, okay, this is more
Yeah,
what I expected from our boy.
yeah. Which when she did that, my girlfriend was like, "Did they date before?"
Oh, hang on.
Like maybe they had a relationship prior and it didn't work out, but they're still like professional colleagues and they're still friends.
That would make sense. They have like kind of they have a vibe.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta get on writing the wrong fan fiction.
See, that's how we leverage this. We have the podcast. We get them to make the wrong podcast movie, and then the follow up is the wrong fan fiction.
There we
Where
go.
uh, are you familiar with the plot of Kyo Annie's Chunibyo anime?
No.
Okay, I might have to edit this out because it's too much of inside. But it's a really funny setup. It's about a boy who he was. You know what like Chunibyo is like as a concept is, right?
No.
Okay, so it's a Japanese word that's kind of like weird kid, basically.
Okay.
It's like kid in like middle school, like middle schoolish age, like around the age where you kind of are expected to stop being this way. Who like talks about being like a magician and magical powers and just like kid who's too stuck in a fantasy world. So it's kind of like characters you see in more slice of life settings who say they have dark powers and stuff. And the plot of the show is this kid, he was like that in middle school. And now that he's in high school, he's like, holy shit, I was so cringe. I need to leave that all behind me. And on the first day of school, there's a girl who's wearing like an eye patch who's saying it seals back her magical powers. And through stuff, she finds out that he is the person who wrote all the like stories and journals online about being this dark lord that inspired her. So it's him trying to be like, oh fuck, my high school life of being a normal guy is ruined by this weirdo girl and trying to get away from that.
She found out he wrote My Immortal.
Yeah, basically. So we just copy that for the wrong fan fiction.
Okay.
It's a established author like Dan here, who someone found his old AO3 and he's trying to get them like, no, go away. I'm not that person.
Jory, you're cooking. You gotta write that down.
Anyway,
Dan,
yeah,
Dan comes back.
He does with stock footage of a plane landing that looks like it was from 30 years ago with the quality of the footage. I don't know if that's just because it's super digital zoomed in because you can't get close to see a plane landing, but it just looked old.
See, there was another like establishing shot. I'm not sure if it was stock footage or anything, but that was also really blurry and bad. I'm kind of wondering if there was something that they accidentally fucked up.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
Hey, it works. They're not going to notice. They're at this point, 2020. Well, I don't think TikTok had completely fried people's attention spans like it has now, but
yeah, that was only January 2020.
Yeah, everyone's looking at their phones and getting excited. Oh, I can't wait for Quibi to open up.
Finally.
He arrives back and he is like off put by the stuff that she's done around the house.
Yeah, she's brought in her own furniture and like stocked the fridge.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a little too much.
The fridge thing is, I think that's totally fine. But yeah, her bringing in like furniture, like at first I was like, I felt like I missed something because I didn't realize that she brought in the like furniture and stuff. But I thought she was just like cleaning things up. It's like, why does he care that she's cleaning? But I was like, oh wait, no, that is kind of weird. Just bring in things to decorate the house with.
Yeah, and I kind of like it because it recontextualizes the scene we saw before.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not just her like cleaning up.
Yeah.
It's her making the house hers.
Yeah.
Feel good. Good moment.
Yeah, because she's waiting by the pool, and it's an uncomfortable vibe. And then when he goes back inside, and he like texts his girlfriend, "Hey, can't talk. Call you later." She comes in, and it's like in a line that anyone over the age of like 20 is too old to be saying this, but she's just like, "Are you mad at me?" And it's very, very silly to see like an adult talk like that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with asking that, but asking that like a 6-year-old, you know. Then she insists on cooking him dinner. She's like, "Oh, I had this whole meal planned out for you when you came back." And he's like, I really don't want that. I kind of just want to chill out. And she's like, no, I insist. Listen, you have to let me do this. That's probably in the contract too.
Yeah, probably.
And then he's like, whatever. So they have dinner together. And this really doesn't have anything to do with the plot. But over dinner, he talks about the article he's writing that he went to New York to write about. Yeah. Apparently. New York City. New York City is turning their unused underground tunnels, like abandoned subways and unused sewer systems and stuff, into prime real estate housing. Gonna go live with the mole people. This is old New York, old New York from Futurama.
Yeah.
This is the Stacks from Crosstown.
Yeah. The with this is like I love this idea as like if someone proposed this, they would get laughed out of the room in like an actual like how do we use all this? I don't even know how. You're from the East Coast. Does New York actually New York City have a bunch of unused and abandoned subway tunnels and stations?
I mean, like, not really, I don't think. I think they're using that because they kind of need to.
Yeah. And if there are, him describing as prime real estate is also crazy because there's no way anyone with money, especially in a place like New York, will let it get used like that and
Yeah.
would want to live there. That's where the Section 8 housing is going, is the
Yeah,
fucking
that's
subway tunnel. Also, there's got to be bad noise. This like you're
oh
getting some
yeah.
residual effect from the trains that do run all through there. Someone's gonna carry. Uh,
Exactly.
but I love this science fiction world where that's like a cool thing that people are excited about.
Yeah. Go and live with the mutants.
Next, we're gonna like wake up in like a week, and Mom Donnie's gonna be like, "We're doing this."
And you know what? I would be like, I guess based, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, if it if it actually created more Section 8 housing,
Yeah.
would I be opposed? Kinda. But I would applaud the idea of making more housing.
Yeah. And since they were having some drinks while having their uh, kind of romantic dinner, it's by candlelight, and they're sitting not dissimilar to what makes the early scene in Dog Lover Symphony episode Once Miss
Mm.
Wonders, now live on the Moonshot Patreon. Confusing is the way that the daughter and dad are placed when they're eating dinner just makes it seem a little bit more intimate than it should have for introducing these characters together.
So true. But
He's
yeah,
like,
she's
yeah,
had a couple, so he like non-sexually baby it's cold outside's her.
yeah.
Otherwise known as just saying, "Hey, you shouldn't drive home."
Which I thought here was when we were gonna get a repeat of the Wrong Tutor. She like comes in with her
Mm.
silk robe and pajamas and comes into his bedroom and then just kind of kisses him on the cheek, which he wakes up. Which, is it a bad dream? Did it actually happen? What's going on?
Whoa. Yep. I really love that scene. The like when her lips are about to make contact with his head, he like bolts straight up.
Yeah.
Jump scared me.
It's like, is he's having these kind of dreams? Ooh, is there a reason for his girlfriend to be concerned when she finds out that she's still there?
Okay. Yeah. My next note just says Vivica talks to Dan about Kristen.
Yeah, because this is he comes in, they're talking about the trip, whatever, and then comes up of like, I met Mary at your house. She's like, no, that's Kristen, the house sitter. She's like, oh, she was saying she was Mary, your girlfriend. You know, there's something really off about her. Like, like Vivica, good on her for knowing, but it did feel just like a sharp turn for her to be like, yeah, that girl's weird. And then he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she is kind of weird, isn't she?
Yeah. Kind of a little disproportional to the things that they have actually witnessed.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's
judgy, I'll say it.
yeah. And like I do understand him being like, it is weird for her to say that she was Mary, and I was hoping we would get the wrong excuse, like from the wrong mommy of her. Was it the wrong mommy or no? It was the wrong
Wrong stepmom mother.
stepmother, where she's like, I just didn't want to be rude to the lady. It would just, I thought she was going to use that kind of excuse. And one confronts, she's like, no, I think she was confused. Like, she's telling the story wrong.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. She did say, "You're Mary, right?"
Yeah.
Which I think that Kristen did say yes, but like she was the one who put it
Yeah.
out there, and Kristen's like, I didn't want to make her feel embarrassed. Okay, so I have a couple of things here. So first of all, Mary comes over and sees Kristen there and is weirded out by her. Is there anything interesting that happens in this conversation?
I think just like how curt she is with Mary. She's like, yeah, well, Dan's not here, so you take up that stuff with him, and just kind of shuts the door in her face.
Yeah. And then Mary drives home, and Dan is driving to his home. And so we're getting reverse shots in their definitely two separate cars that in both cases they forgot to chroma key in a background. So they're just driving through the void. It's just pure white. And the way that they're shooting, they're putting these two shots, I was like, they are in the same car right now. These two actors are in the same car. They did not want to do this in two separate scenes because they always shoot Jason Shane Scott from the right, and you can see him with the steering wheel, and they always shoot Mary from the left. And you distinctly can't see the steering wheel, even though she's holding her arms out like she is driving. And you can't see a seat beyond her.
That's a good point. I didn't even put that together, because when I see the white background, that makes more sense. Because I just put it as like, in my head, when I think, oh, you have the camera in the car, the way it's positioned. Like if you take a picture in your car, sometimes the windows are like white because of like the white balance and the exposure and everything. But yeah, that makes more sense that they just didn't put a background.
Yeah. And then so they have a whole conversation that I was completely distracted about, where Mary just kind of fills him in on what's going on. They kind of talk back and forth, and they're like, she's weird, she should leave. And then Dan gets home, and by the way, Dan has horses.
I love this. There's stock footage of horses, and immediately my girlfriend's like, there's not actually horses there. And just
Yeah.
they show stock footage of horses to establish that there's probably horses around these fences, inside the fence, and then they're just talking with like horse noises sometimes in the background. And I like her response of watching the horsies. You're too old for saying horsies.
No, I'm gonna push back on that. I always, I usually say horsies if I'm talking about that. Like,
I guess I'd say actually I would probably say horsies too, but I think I would also I'd probably put on more of a voice. It's like a gag that I do that I find very funny is if someone asks about my age and I go, this many, and you do it in like a kid voice, and even if someone's not looking, sometimes people aren't paying attention, so you don't have to hold up fingers, because the joke is you should be able to get the joke of like when kids hold up their fingers with the voice. I do it like that because I go like, look, the horsies.
Yeah. It's whenever I was driving home from my last job, I would pass by this I don't think it was like a farm, but it was a property that had horses. And every day I would be like, are the horses out? And I would be calling my my girlfriend on the way home, and she would get the horsey updates.
Or when I would drive to my college campus, which is like 50 miles away, uh,
Mhm.
and it's through not rural, but just like parts of South Dakota which don't have people living in it. There's always be cows. Whenever I'd look over and see the cows, even though I'm driving alone to myself, and just going moo, moo.
Perfect. No notes.
But this is where she reveals her true colors. Where he's just like,
Yep.
"Hey, you're weird. You're saying you're my girlfriend, and you didn't give me papers that she came and dropped off, and I'm home, so I don't need you here." And she, after very little fighting back, she's like, "Yeah, well, papers you signed means I got to stay here. So they say you're subletting the place to me, so I don't have to leave." Which I thought there'd be a little more pushback from her on this.
Yeah, she knows her rights.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing. Oh man. And yeah, she's subletting the place from him year to year.
Yeah.
I love how she phrases it that way, as if she is going to get a second year.
Yeah. Like
You get 14 months until you are legally evicted.
yeah, this is we get that sharp turn. Like I thought there'd be some kind of pushback, and this is when she's also kind of being like, "We have some chemistry, you know."
Which, like, huge leap of confidence there.
Yeah. Like I know this is what you really want.
Yeah. Dan goes back to Vivica and talks to her about it, and Vivica says that she consulted a lawyer friend, and legally he is now her landlord, and legally, because he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to, turn off the water for her, or make it fucking 120 degrees in her room. And Vivica's like, no, in the contract, you do legally have to provide her reasonable amenities. But you can make it hell for her emotionally.
See, I was hoping these movies wouldn't go there. I was hoping he'd just be like gross, like he wouldn't shower and not clean up.
Mm. Stinky.
He just does that, like makes messes, makes the house really gross to where she doesn't want to be there anymore. But no, they don't really do much with that. Like I think that would be a fun of him and his girlfriend like planned ways to terrorize her to get her to leave.
Yeah. And okay. So there is a scene later, a little, where Dan kind of suggests that in a way, where he and his girlfriend are making out, and Kristen is watching them on the huge camera that she's installed in their room. And
Yeah.
the girlfriend's like, no, I can't fuck you while she is here. I can just like feel her presence as if she's watching me through a camera. And Dan is like, we should make her uncomfortable. And Mary says, oh, so I'm a prop now? She said it in like such a cutting and convincing way that I was like, ooh, buddy, you gotta walk that back.
Yeah. Especially because like what I was coming up with the how does he terrorize her way, that's one where like, you know, you can't go there because that's like sexual harassment. That's not
Yeah.
gonna work out for you, buddy.
Yeah, but to go back for a second, in the scene beforehand, Dan and Mary talk about the situation, and the word squatters' rights come up, and I was thrilled about that. And also, Mary says everybody needs to have some experience with social media nowadays. Yeah, in 2020? Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You guys aren't old enough. You aren't so old that like it's still like a weird concept to you. Like
Adam
I'm
Rockoff isn't so old that it
yeah,
should be a weird concept to him.
like I'm sure internally in the script, Jason Shane Scott's character is a good 7, 8 to 10 years younger than him, than the actor, but
Yeah.
he the man himself, he's like in his 40s. he would have been like a young adult, like mid to late 20s, early 30s when MySpace was bigger. Like he
Yeah.
absolutely would have would have been those. I do like too that they alongside those like evil laws that allow you to get taken advantage of, she brings up that like the laws were meant to prevent people from buying property and then just not using it. So just letting you like buy a house on a property and just letting it sit there so no one else can have it. So those evil laws from 1853 when settlers would come over and buy up everything so no one else could have the land, basically.
She says it in a way of like, wow, these laws were good, and then people like twisted them, and now they're benefiting people who may be unhoused.
The
Um,
thing, I'm sure it's a little different in California, but not by much. But isn't it like a crazy statistic, like way too high, of how many homes and apartments are just empty because they're
yep,
intentionally kept at higher rates so that people can't rent them?
yep, and that and like Airbnbs and stuff. It's a
Oh
fucking
yeah.
nightmare. But also like, I want to bring up the squatters' rights thing here for a minute because like, girl, that's not what's happening.
No.
Like, it's the squatters' rights stuff is so irrelevant to this. She is not squatting here. She legally lives here.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, he signed a
she
document.
has, yeah, and it's like it just makes no sense that you would bring this up. Besides the fact that you are fear mongering, and it, it even even let's go to the squatters' rights stuff, right? Even if she was living there illegally or she was squatting in some way, after 30 days, she's legally a tenant, which
Yeah.
is why, like, a lot of Airbnb places won't rent to you for longer than like 30 days because you have different rights as a tenant than as a like Airbnb renter.
Yeah.
So anyway, weird.
After that is when we get like them in bed and she leaves because he says something that he definitely should not say, and then he doesn't know how to make up, apologize, and make it right. So we get like a quick thing of Tracy Vale seeing the car drive off in a day for night shot. That's just a
Yep.
regular daytime. You can see the like the way the shadows are different than if it was the moon. And
They use that same shot in a day shot later.
yeah. And then because of this, like, he's sitting and he's drinking, and Kristen comes down and just kind of bothers him. It's like, hey, you left the door open. Are you trying to get a breeze in here? He's like, fuck. So he goes and shuts the door. And while he's doing that, she drops two big fucking pills in his drink that when he comes back and drinks, they have not dissolved in his drink. You can see them at the bottom of the glass.
Yep.
To which,
That's my favorite.
very similar to, I know I brought it up in the past, but the movie Fight of Fury, where the women who are human trafficked agree to having mysterious stuff put in their drinks at a bar. And it's just, how do you not notice this? How do you not know better?
It's so bizarre. Like, it. And it's so much. It's so much weirder to me to have in a movie. Because, like, the way I would shoot this if I wanted to, not have that happen, sorry, is get like a capsule and have her open it into the drink. And then you don't have to do anything else. He can just drink it with, and obviously there's been nothing actually done to it. And you don't see two semi-dissolved aspirins at the bottom of the glass. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
You know, That might be maybe they do shoot these in like script order.
Maybe, honestly. Like, reset the shot to show her putting it in the glass. Hang on, maybe you might be cooking there, actually.
Yeah, pulled it up to like make sure, and yeah, it's just plain as day in there.
God.
Like the drink is even like discolored too. I feel like
Yeah.
you know, maybe I'm too much of a drink enthusiast that I look at what I'm drinking, but I would notice that.
Same. I they're so big too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's drugged from that. The aspirin worked really quickly.
Yeah.
And she like takes selfies with him a la the wrong friend. And like, wow, he looks so happy in these selfies with her.
Yeah, these don't. I thought when we got the payoff for this that immediately Mary would know because he looks fucked up in these.
Yeah, he looks worse than the girl in the wrong friend did.
Yeah, like he in the pictures. Like I think there's one where he looks kind of normal and his eyes are open, but the rest of it he looks like he is drugged or like passed out beyond like drunk, like blackout.
Yeah, what a world. But drugged? Who's gonna believe that in this day and age? Kristen says.
Yeah.
Vivica and Dan meet the next day, and the lawyer friend that Vivica consulted with, who's played by Tracy Nelson, shows
Yes.
up. There was a moment during this conversation where I pointed and yelled "boom mic" in the shot. It was right in front of Vivica's head. Not to be confused with the weird chandelier that kind of blocks part of Tracy Nelson's head at one point.
Yeah, this scene, something that I think this needed was a like, I don't know the way to describe the music, but the like, a PSA after school special like music sting to let you know that what they're telling you is uh, uh, a real thing and not part of the narrative. When she just kind of
Mm.
explains why they're screwed and that it's going to be a lot of work to get her out because it just feels like explaining to the audience and you get just like a swell of music and you know it's going to be a lot of money fighting back against these things. Like you don't really have much of a case.
Yeah. And truthfully, he fucking doesn't.
No. Like I think it's something that if he had money he could fight against, but he probably doesn't have the money or the time. I know it's
Spend it
something
all in that house.
that comes up with especially in wrestling and World Wrestling Entertainment. It's kind of been determined that the non-compete clauses that wrestlers have when they get released or fired or something, those aren't enforceable. But a lot of it is that the people who are under those non-compete clauses, they still get paid during those, so they're not going to give up the money. And the other part
Mm-hmm.
is the amount of time and effort it takes to fight that is just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the same with uh non-disclosure agreements. Like maybe I could be a little bit misinformed, but I feel like there's to a certain extent where yeah, you could probably fight against them, but the amount of work and time and effort is just it makes that impossible more than it being a 100% binding thing.
Yeah, that sounds right.
After that, we get Mary has been doing some research, and she has a forum post that that kind of details the similar situation.
Yeah. And she
That
later meets up with this previous victim of Kristen's, which, by the way, Kristen never changes her name or anything when she does this. She always
No.
goes by her actual legal name.
Which usually they do change their name.
Yeah, I was surprised. She is fucking confident, and she should be. And the story essentially is that this woman used to work with Kristen. And while she was working with Kristen, Kristen would sometimes talk about her like shitty boyfriend who abused her. And this woman talked to her own boyfriend or fiance or something, and they both agreed Kristen should move in with them. And then Kristen got kind of handsy and wandering eye with this woman's boyfriend, and they decide that she should leave. But then she produces a contract that they barely remember signing when she first moved in, and she told them like it's for their protection in case something happens to her. And she legally lived there. And did she break up with her boyfriend over this because she figured that her boyfriend was probably fucking Kristen?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah.
And she says that she looked around at all sorts of lawyers, and no lawyer would take her case once she said Kristen's name. They know her, which I think is hilarious. Mary confronts Kristen and says that she threatens her with fraud, which this is not fraud.
Yeah, no, I I the thing that she like brings up is that because she's done this before, it's something that it's a different charge, so they can like they have a legal case here, which I don't think that's how that works.
It probably wasn't fraud any of those other times either.
No, it's not.
She said this is something that like, this is a basic thing that ensures that I get paid or whatever, or this protects you in case something happens to me or whatever. And I
Yeah.
think in a sense that could probably be argued. I don't know. Her shit's probably iron tight.
Yeah.
At least in the universe of this movie. I think in real life that might get thrown out.
Yeah. It's one of those things where do you want to spend the time and effort to fight it? Probably not.
Why not just have a miserable year instead?
Yeah. Honestly, like she I think he could just like put up with it. She he I don't he doesn't ever find the cameras, does he?
No.
Like as far as he knows, like nothing else is like he got tricked into something. I don't know, you just kind of eat it. Like you just gotta fuck,
Yeah.
I guess. Like
Apart from the drugging, like she's been pretty normal too.
Yeah.
He's just got some like sour grapes about this.
Yeah. It's like honestly, he just feign being her friend until she tell you can legally get rid of her, because here after Mary confronts her, she shows Mary the pictures that she took of them together, where he looks absolutely fucked up. As OSW Review, an Irish wrestling podcast, puts it, which I love the phrase, even though I don't know what it's originally referencing when they talk about guys who like wrestlers who especially look like fucked up from like drugs and stuff. They say ballooned off their tits, which I think is just very funny and feels like a very Irish saying.
Yeah.
Like he looks just like ballooned off his tits off being drugged. And Mary goes, "That evil man who was two-timing me." And leaves. And we get that with Tracy Vale once again pops up and is like, "Hi, I'm Tracy Vale. Is Dan here?" And she's like, "It's like, no, I'm his ex-girlfriend now."
Yeah. We used to date.
Yeah.
So lawyer Tracy Nelson calls the house. Oh no, she calls Dan and Kristen intercepts it from the data transfer that she did.
Yeah.
And she texts her and is like, "Hey, come over at this time tomorrow when Dan isn't home, and we'll talk about it." So she comes over, and Kristen pretends to be Mary. She poisons her. She gives her a glass of water with some pills in it, and this is our first death by poisoning.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like what this was. That makes sense as poisoning her because I was like, it can't be the same thing she used on him because I don't think of any drug causes you to do that. But yeah, just poisoned and dead.
Yeah, just drop fucking cyanide into her water or whatever.
And then immediately after, Tracy Vale comes over and Kristen strangles her with the belt from the rope.
Yeah, that I was kind of shocked by that.
Yeah. It's very like, is this the most violent of a death? And I wonder too if similar to like just the odd restrictions that come to violence and like sexuality on TV, how like in The Wrong Tutor she only took her shirt off, she didn't like take her pants off, and how with like cartoons and stuff it's fine for the Ninja Turtles to cut up all the foot ninjas because they're robots. Actually, there's no blood, it's fine. I wonder if there is something like that with this where using like an object is somehow less violent to TV censors than like using hands. I think also
But
the
we've
size
had somebody use it.
Oh yeah. Never
The
mind.
wrong man used his hands. He put on the sexy gloves.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But no, I do understand that. I'm not sure if this could be considered the most violent
Mm-hmm.
killing in these movies, but I honestly I think that probably goes to the end of The Wrong Friend where she unloads a clip into that guy.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
but there's a brutality about this
Yeah,
that really gets it. I think it's because this woman is taller than her too.
there's that like it's the how long it goes on for, and that like by the
Mm-hmm.
end she has it tied into like almost like a noose.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I'll say it. The neighbor shouldn't have just wandered into the house.
Yeah, no, she shouldn't. I think even in California, that follows some kind of stand your ground type laws.
Yeah, I don't think a court would convict her.
No.
She's girl bossing, Your Honor. Case dismissed.
Yep. I mean, she just shows the contracts like, oh, she is a resident of there, and she had a reason. There's a stranger in her house.
Yeah. And
And
at
then
this point,
there's like 5 minutes left of the movie, and I'm like, what the
yep.
fuck? Come on, guys. You're 14 some movies in. You can't do this. You
And because
gotta.
there was 5 minutes left, at this point, I said she's getting away with it. She has to. I know Adam Rockoff. I know that's a possibility with him.
Yeah.
And it's so Dan comes home and finds the neighbor's body, finds Tracy Vale's body, and the lawyer is never mentioned again.
No.
For the record. And the police come and they're like, damn, crazy. All right, well, let us know if we see her. So Kristen comes back. Oh, Dan and Mary hang out, and Mary's like, I'm gonna go and get some Chinese food for us. And she leaves. Kristen comes in and sneaks up on Dan with a knife. But he turns around and sees her. She's like, I was just trying to have the American dream with you. Just the weirdest obsession bit.
Yeah, like there's not like to back to all going all the way back to The Wrong Student. Her obsession felt understandable. Like it was this thing that was part of her life, and she like grew to just have an obsession with the soccer player. Here we
Yeah.
don't get anything of like she really liked his writing. He had like a you could have like he was a failed like novella writer or something. Like his stories that didn't make him money were the ones she was obsessed with, and that's how you can have a connection between them. Is like she's like a real deep fan, not someone who likes his stuff that made him the money or anything. But no, it just
Yeah.
seems like this was the latest mark because honestly, even like I don't know, you have her target people who just bought a house.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even need to be an
Honestly,
obsession. Like she looks at Zillow recently sold listings.
it honestly just feels like it kind of feels like in universe she's making that shit up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, Adam Rockoff. I know this whole story is fictional, but it feels like you made that shit up.
Yeah.
Then she goes to stab Dan, and Mary comes home and she's like, "Oh, I forgot my wallet or whatever." And she and Kristen lock eyes, and Kristen just runs.
Even though she has the advantage still, like she has the knife.
Yeah, kill her too. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
If you're already in this deep that you're gonna kill Dan, kill her. You have more of a
yeah.
reason to kill her. And then 3 weeks later, we get like Vivica and Dan talking, and Dan's like, "Well, in City Light Books, I think."
Yep.
And Dan is like, "Well, the cops say that they haven't found her yet, but they'll find her any day now." Yeah, like fucking huge copium from Dan here. And Vivica's like, "You should write this into a book." And he's like, "No, no, I don't wanna. Nobody would believe it, is the thing." And then in an ADR line that we don't actually see Vivica give, she says she was the wrong house sitter.
Yeah, it did not get the exciting cheer from me like the wrong cheerleader did. Which that
Yeah.
the way that one was telegraphed, but it's like as soon as she like sprayed the pepper spray, it's like, oh fuck yeah, when Vivica's gonna go, you messed with the wrong cheerleader. That was exciting, but here just like, especially with so little time left and knowing it's like they're gonna put it in, it didn't. There's not excitement behind it, especially with this.
Yeah.
And earlier in the movie too, when she was like trying to tell him, I don't know, write a story about this, and he's like, no. And then just again, she's like, "Huh? You just write a story about it. Come on, you had the wrong house sitter. Call it that. Maybe they'll make movies about it on TV."
Maybe we'll sell it to Lifetime.
Yeah,
So that's the film. Jory,
yeah. It just ends.
it stops. It just stops. Jory, tell me about the thrills.
Uh the times where Kristen was pretending to be like saying she was Mary or that she was his wife. That stuff was like, I was like, oh fuck, this is uncomfortable. Oh man, that stuff was thrilling. Them just kind of like dealing with the, oh man, the law is not on our side. How could they ever do this? I thought laws were there to help us. That stuff was meh. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like it ebbs and flows. I think partially because it's Jason Shane Scott as our lead and a young blonde woman as our wrong. We don't get as much as like the action that you get from some of these movies in these
Mm-hmm.
situations. So the thrills weren't too much, but they were there. They've just been better elsewhere.
Yeah. I think the two killings were pretty brutal in a thrilling
Yeah.
way. Honestly, the poisoning was brutal too. I felt bad for Tracy Nelson,
Yeah.
even though I know she's acting. I'm like, Jesus Christ, somebody help her. Gothic horror themes.
Uh, the obsession, I think.
Yeah.
I imagine some aspect of like someone you barely know invading your space and kind of taking over a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And then subtle homoeroticism.
He's shirtless working out for like 5 seconds, and he's shirtless
Yes.
by his pool. But other than that, not really.
There are a couple scenes where his shirt is like slightly too far unbuttoned, like me in like a
Yeah,
nice July day.
that was one of the things. I didn't write that down, but it reminded me of like that's weird that he's just walking around with half his shirt unbuttoned.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe he's based for it, but leave that to the Butch Dykes.
Yeah.
Jory, how many house sitters do you give this out of 5?
1.5 to 2. I should know better, but I was still caught off guard by there's 5 minutes left, and it's a part of the movie where it feels like there should be 15 to 20 minutes left. And because there's even less like in those ones, the other ones where it's happened, there's like a confrontation and kind of something happens and they get away and like there's a follow up, or there's just something that kind of like gives it an ending. This one, just them being like, wow, that was crazy, wasn't it? Which is more of a wrap up than we like. The characters acknowledging something happened is a little bit more of a wrap up, but it just doesn't feel like earned. Like we didn't see like much of a struggle when she was like, I don't know, maybe like Mary and her should have had just like a little bit of a tussle before, and she runs away, like she wrestles the knife away from her and then she gets away and something like that.
Especially because Mary is blocking the door.
Yeah, but once it got to like the turn, I wish it was like a movie that if someone does watch, look up trigger warnings and stuff for the movie, because it does have a lot of gross, uncomfortable stuff in it. But in the movie Class of 1984 is about a teacher who goes to an inner city school, and there's these like group of like mischief causing like punk kids who don't listen and they just cause trouble, and they like bully pre Back to the Future Michael J. Fox, and it builds into this thing before it gets to the like climax of the movie where the teacher and the student, they keep doing stuff back and forth to get at each other. Like at one part, the teacher goes to visit the kid's home because he's thinking like maybe the kid has like a shitty home life and stuff, and he goes and he lives in like kind of a nice area. He has a loving mom who like dotes on him and stuff, and everything seems fine. So when he leaves meeting, he sees the kid's super nice sports car, hot wires it, and drives it into a wall in the parking garage, and it's awesome. And I was hoping there'd just be like they're like getting back and forth at each other like as a test to see who can like put up with it. No, it's just like going, man, those squatters' rights are ruining everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna be so real. I'm giving this a 2.5.
Ooh.
I had fun with this one in part because I love this Wrong. I think that she is
awesome.
Charming, and I am on her side. She literally did nothing wrong, except for killing those people. And you know what? Stand your ground. I don't know. You're girl bossing regardless. So
don't drug people, but
yeah, don't drug people. Don't drug people. This podcast does not endorse drugging people.
No,
but not but for the drugging people. But I don't know. Like, the Wrong student is my favorite Wrong, but this one is the Wrong that I was on their side the most. Absolutely. Which I think is impressive in a franchise where everyone is cartoonishly evil. Even her turn, I was like, whatever, man, let her live in the house, who cares? Move. Yeah, I don't know, it's a 2.5 for me. I had fun with this one. This is one that I think is a huge your mileage may vary on how you're gonna feel about it. I know that Jay and Paddington, when I watched it with them the other night, were not the biggest fans. Jay was getting real hung up on how this guy was supposed to be a freelance journalist. But I thought it was a good time. And I'm happy to put that in the wrong spreadsheet.
There's with these we've gotten to a point where they don't have as many lulls. Like there's not parts where for long extended periods of time I'm like, fuck, hurry up, please, hurry up. Like
Yeah.
They keep stuff moving far better than they did earlier in the series. There's gotta be, like, it's gotta be something where either for this audience or whatever needs the like climax and falling action to be in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe it helps if, like, I don't know, you tune into the movie late, so that way you don't feel like you've missed anything or something.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah, it almost feels like they forget how to pace a movie for TV.
Yeah.
Every time it feels like, are they writing the movie as they are filming the movie? And the answer kind of feels like it might be yes sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, final thoughts?
I am excited for the next movie because it came out the same day.
Yep, the same day, The Wrong Wedding Planner.
Yep.
And honestly, these two back-to-back this is like my favorite pair of titles because they're both so strange to me.
Yeah.
And I would like to make a big call on the plot of The Wrong Wedding Planner right now. Wrong Wedding Planner is a woman, and she is obsessed with the husband-to-be, and she wants to wear the skin of the wife-to-be.
That's... Ooh, she's helping them plan their wedding, but she is, like, subtly nudging them to the things that she would want in her ideal wedding.
Yeah.
So she can kill the wife and take the place.
You'd agree. I think that's where it's going. But anyway, Jory, where can people find you online?
You can find me anywhere Jories are found at No I'm Jory. Jory.zone on Blue Sky, because as a conversation I had with someone today, kind of forget that Blue Sky was made under the same kind of thing as Mastodon, but it doesn't have Mastodon vibes, so everyone just kind of looks to the wayside of it. You don't have normal usernames on there because it's all the weird federated crap. You can see posts about what I'm doing, things got coming up. You can also find my other show. We are watching One Piece, and any of your favorite podcatchers. One Piece is back. I think by the time this episode comes out, One Piece might be on hiatus again. We'll see, because it's down to 26 episodes a year from 52-ish. Say ish because at least like 4 or 5 of those were recap episodes that were just reusing footage. But they're cutting back because that's an insane workload for animators.
Yeah, saving the wrists.
So, what about you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Punkdyke, PUNKDYKE. Can't believe nobody had that at. And can't believe that the previous owner didn't read the contract that I gave them. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Squatting on that. maybe I shouldn't phrase it that way. You can find the show. You can find the show on Blue Sky at Wrong Podcast. .bluesky.app. And send us a post there and tell us if you are on this woman's side or not. And yeah, that's basically it. Until next time, I guess you just listened to The Wrong Podcast. Good one.
miss getting kicked in the face at Warped Tour?
Did you shatter your glasses in a mosh pit in 2007?
Did you wear more studded belts than a Final Fantasy character?
Then we have the show for you.
We are So Emo I Fell Apart, a podcast about third wave emo, late night live journal updates, burnt hair, and everything in between.
Join us every second Saturday as we examine major moments in the history of emo and keep you updated on current events.
Because it was never a phase.
Hey, I'm Logan.
And I'm Greg.
And we want you to listen to our show, Game Mechanics, a podcast where we kick the tires and run diagnostics on all types of tabletop experiences.
Between us, we've written 6 books in the industry, and we do a whole nother actual play podcast.
That's very random encounters. Maybe listen to that too.
And we've got decades of experience playing TTRPGs, board games, CCGs, miniature games, and anything else fun that you do at a table.
Anyway, here's a coupon for a free checkup here on Game Mechanics.
And you can redeem that wherever you find podcasts.
Tuesdays on the Moonshot Network.